Hello and welcome to my patch notes rundown for the 25th of April. This week's update introduces the implementation of the long requested Ring of Vigor passive as part of the Extinction quest reward buffs that also include XP and drop boosts to the post-quest skilling stations. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The XP for the Extinction post-quest skilling stations have been increased and the amount of base camp resources required in the conversion has been reduced. I personally think the XP rate should be buffed even further or at least scale it to your skill level, as I would say it's currently not good enough for something you're going to attend every 1 day and 17 hours. I can imagine this being utilized by main accounts for level 75 herblore and fishing but falls off towards level 99, where the main use will be farming all of these stations for the master quest cape every 10 days and 10 hours. Whereas for Ironman, I've been informed by RS and Bammaze that herblore would be efficient at level 75, but crafting would become a much more dominant choice as you get towards 99. Unlike mains, even at 99, crafting would be worth doing at these skilling stations as it's normally 80 to 110k XP per hour. Any existing skilling stations will have their stored XP boosted to the new conversion rates. So basically any XP you have from the original build will be multiplied by 9 and any extra converted resources will be multiplied by 5. Any new skilling stations will have increased starting XP on creation. The Pontifex Shadow Ring can now be imbued into an enriched version. To imbue it, you simply right click the ring and select the imbue option near the top. This ring is definitely best in slot when training divination, mining and archaeology if you're willing to give up on the luck of the dwarves for Saren spirits and archaeology rare rolls. However, you could most likely fit the luck of the dwarves relic to cover that. Also, the increase to the Elder God Wars dungeon unique drop rates was confirmed to work as a passive as long as your ring is overcharged. The Ring of Vigor can now be turned into a permanent passive effect. To turn it into a passive, you need to talk to Vicendithas, who is located in the effigy incubator, and select the top option asking for any additional rewards. He will hand you the warp gem, which you simply left click and confirm to combine the items. And then boom, your Ring of Vigor is now a permanent passive effect. I ultimately like this change. Even though it does lower the skill ceiling slightly, I think the pros easily outweigh the cons in this case. The Ring of Vigor switch just became too monotonous, especially on top of the use and switches of Essence of Finalities. I created this measurement of the before and after the Ring of Vigor was made into a passive with the help of Aris and Washley. The numbers are relative and scale from 0 being low to 10 being high. As we can see, range was very difficult to optimize while switching Ring of Vigor, since it was mostly reactive and you also had to be switching your bolts and your Essence of Finalities also reactively, which in a lot of cases was overwhelming. Magic gained the most since it benefits greatly from using Reaver's Ring, and especially when using Armored or Battlestaff, where previously you were forced to cast it with Reaver's Ring as switching during the cast cancelled a channeled special attack. And that covers all the combat styles. Now, I don't want this to become a slippery slope of every switch becoming a passive, since I personally feel a lot of switches add complexity to the game and are very satisfying to execute. However, next on the list for me would be the Persistent Rage Relic. I firmly believe it should not only be made into a passive, but it should also be part of the base game, as I would want even new players to be able to bypass the unfun experience of having to stall adrenaline. It's not skillful and it's not fun to execute, so why does it exist? The drop table for the Extinction post-quest skilling stations have been made more lucrative. Some drops include Necklace of Salamancy, Ranch Out of Time eggs, and laboratory relics from Elite Dungeons 2. This is my loot from 1.2 mil XP at skilling stations. Take these results with a grain of salt since this sample size is not big enough to conclude an accurate or reliable average. I think the biggest feature for main accounts is the fact that as of making this video, the upgraded blowpipe price has dropped down to 5 mil, which makes it a very powerful and cheap purchase for early game range. However, I do believe the prices will very likely rebound since on the update a lot of players were draining their stored XP, holding it for this update. The biggest incentive for Ironman is easily the Ranch Out of Time eggs. I don't know whether I was lucky, but I received 4 tier 3 dinosaur eggs. Finally, it was confirmed by RSN Merds that you're also eligible to receive any of the base camp upgrade items. Necklace of Salamancy provides the following buffs: a 15% accuracy and damage buff while fighting dinosaurs and the Rex Matriarchs, a 3% rarity boost from dinosaurs and the Rex Matriarchs. The necklace works on every dinosaur other than Raksha. Even though it's not a confirmation, Mod Sponge did mention they'd hope to eventually allow it to work on Raksha as well. The drop rate of this necklace is a 1 in 500 when rolling for resources. It takes an average of 3.9 mil XP for the drop, and based on my sample size, it takes an average of 73 days to get the drop. A bank chest has been added to the Extinction post-quest area. Moving on to Oddment Store and Treasure Hunter. The Water Lichen and Fire Lichen legendary pets can now be purchased for 50,000 oddments each. Remove the randomized sales from Treasure Hunter keys, medium prismatic lamps, and medium prismatic stars, but slightly lower their prices. Double the daily purchase caps on Treasure Hunter keys, medium prismatic lamps, medium prismatic stars, small protein packs, cinder cores, and pulse cores. Since there are no more randomized sales, they might as well remove this daily cap since it no longer serves a purpose. It really feels like they're preying on people's fear of missing out, as some might not know that it's a daily cap. The multiple choice Treasure Hunter prize selection screen has been removed. This is a pretty big nerf and I personally don't like it. I think the choice was nice since you could pick the prize that was most suitable for you rather than having a greater sense of gambling and RNG. Oddment prizes have been removed from the Treasure Hunter drop table. The number of portable items received from the portable packs have been reduced. They've cut the numbers down massively. I doubt this will have any immediate effect, but in the long run I wouldn't be surprised if the prices go up, especially with the current state of inflation. The Convert Confirm functionality was changed and will no longer ask for confirmation on white and yellow prizes, but will continue to do so for higher tiers. Spring Cleaner is now available on the loot table again if the player does not own it already. Players can no longer gain lucky items as a super rare reward from chests. Protein packs have been replaced with protein specific items. I don't really care too much about these changes, but again, same reason as before, I'm not a fan of this as it really cuts out personalized choices, resulting in receiving items that may be useless for you. And that's it for this week's patch notes. I'm really happy with the Ring of Vigor becoming a passive and that they added a teleport to the post-quest area on the Pontifex Shattering. I would say that the skilling stations require a bit more fine tuning on the XP rewards, but other than that they're a solid D&D. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and take care.